Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share another training game. And, I don't mean to spoil it, but I'm pretty happy about this game. Um, Although, I mean, maybe it wasn't much of a game, but, I'll show you what I mean. So, at the start of this game, I was sitting at my highest rating so far at 1762. So, and I'm thinking, if I lose, it's okay, but I'm going to try my best. And I played someone rated about 1870. He played e4, and I went e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop to c4. And so it's an Italian game. And I like to play knight f6 against this, which I play because of Jan Gustafsson's chessable course, e4, e5, lifetime repertoire. By the way, he was on Magnus Carlsen's team for the World Championship. So, in terms of openings and theoretical stuff, yeah, you can't get better than Jan Gustafsson. He's pretty amazing. Knight to g5 was played, and I was happy to see this move because, I played as white and black. And black gets an initiative in these lines, but mostly I think I enjoy it from both sides. I think it's very interesting. So d5 takes knight a5 is what I like here. Just saying that, if you want to try to sack, push the pawn with the discovered check, that's not going to work because I take. And that's the main move, by the way, knight a5. And so they usually do check here. And we play, c6, which blocks the bishop. And when they take with a pawn, we actually take with a pawn. So I know this looks weird, but it's, been played like 10 million times. And he played bishop d3, which is the same move that I play as white. So far I've had this as black and white. And here I know the move to be knight to d5. I like knight d5. It's the main line, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, when they play bishop e2, I'm pretty sure that you just go h6 and they'll drop back like this. And you can play e5. And I think they actually like bring the knight in or something. So that's how knight e2 goes. But if you play h6 when they go bishop g3, it's actually kind of a slight mistake because, I'll show you something funny that I learned about this line. Like, let's say they go knight f4. Okay, and we're like, oh goody, we can take the knight, take here, and play f5, and they're going to get crushed. And we try something like this. Then this move comes in. And then you're like, oh. Because you can't play g6, and this is really annoying. And it's good for white. I'll check with the engine now. Yeah, it's like winning for white. We have to go king e7 is the best move. Okay, then you know it's bad. So I've had that as white, never as black though. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not good to play h6. So when they go bishop d3, like this, bishop d3, it's actually not good to go h6. That's why, part of why knight d5 is correct. Now if we get a similar line, like let's say they go here and we want to go f5. If they try this now, I mean, it doesn't do anything. We can go g6 and, that's it. There's nothing, and now black's winning according to the computer because the queen's hanging and the knight's hanging, and we're going to win material. So, okay, so I love nuances like that. I think I'm a typical adult player. I love openings. I think they're very interesting. And early middle game plans. Okay, so that aside, let's get back to the game. So I did play knight to d5, which is also discovered tack on the knight, by the way. We're kind of taking advantage of the fact that the bishop is blocking this pawn. So, because, you know, normally this bishop isn't here and white could play d3 or something. And then the bishop would guard the knight. But that isn't possible here. So all of this is why I like knight d5 quite a bit. I think it's a good move. Plus, we're probably going to go knight f5. Or, I'm sorry, knight f4. And again, with the bishop not open, that's a pretty desirable move to get in. You know, we're going to attack the bishop and attack g2. Okay, so the normal move here is knight to f3, which I've played myself and my opponent played as well. So this, you know, attacks a pawn. So I've learned that we shouldn't sack that pawn. We probably can. I'm curious about that. Yeah, bishop c5 is a move I see the engine's giving. Like, this is something I would do, you know. I guess the position's equal at this point. We go knight f4. So there's that move I was talking about. And white should castle. And then we go queen g5. And then they go g3. Wow. I would probably check. Okay, this looks pretty wild, actually. You know, I kind of like this move, bishop c5. So I'm going to take note of that one. You know, if I can sack a pawn in the opening, that's pretty much what I want to do. I guess I'm already down one pawn. Why not sack another pawn? So now you know how I play chess. Okay, but knight d5, knight f3, I played bishop d6. So yes, I defended the pawn, to my dismay. He castled. I played knight to f4. So this is all theory as far as I know. And now I was literally saying out loud during the game. You know, that's the beauty of online chess. Please play bishop e2. Please play bishop e2. Because I have a flashcard. And it's from months ago. So, you know, like moments like these make me go, wow, my flashcards are meaningful. Like, I really should continue with those. Because after bishop e2, which he did play, I know for a fact that I have knight takes g2, which I played. I calculated a little bit, but I saw enough that I was like, yes, this is what I remember. So what's the idea? Well, it looks ridiculous, right? King takes. Makes sense. But the idea is that we're going to play e4 to remove the knight. The knight is guarding, you know, these squares. If the knight's not guarding those squares, guess where our queen can go? And when we play e5, guess what's opened up? And guess who this is? So as you can see, that's a lot of firepower on the white king side. And truth be told, the engine says all of this is about equal, even slightly better for black. Oh yeah, I'm black, so slightly better for black is good. But it's roughly equal, and actually white can defend, and both sides have to play accurate, basically. So, you know, I did play this. And I wasn't thinking that I was winning. I was just like, well, I'm happy to get this in, and this should be fun. So he did accept. And, okay, I forgot this from my flashcard. But you actually can't take the knight. I totally forgot this. Yeah, you just can't take the knight. The best move here is actually knight to c3. Another good move is d4. Just d4. So that's pretty interesting. I guess, you know, the knight has no immediate threats, which is kind of funny. I mean, he's sitting right next to the king, but, you know, in terms of threats, there's really not anything. I have to admit, if knight c3, I would just come back. How could this be bad? Computer says d4. I guess white, you know, is fine here. Like, it's equal somehow. But, I mean, I want to be black here for sure. Well, you know what it is we just want our pawn back because we lost a pawn earlier. So we just want our pawn back, right? Like one, two, three. Yeah, we both have 6 pawns. And now their structure's a little weird on their king side. And our structure's a little weird on the queen side. Okay, so knight takes g2 and he took it. And yeah, this is like winning for black now, but I do think you have to be precise. And I do remember something from the flashcard here. So we're going to go e4 like I said. We want the knight to go away so we can play a queen there. I mean, when you first see this move, you're like, oh, maybe the knight can jump in. But no, these squares are defended. So the knight, you know, he doesn't have a great place to go. I was thinking knight d4 is probably best. Computer likes not moving him at all and just playing d3. Wow. Okay, I would gladly take with check. Just no doubt about it. Yeah, this is still losing. So I guess there's just no good options here. I mean, I like this the best. At least it's a try. But yeah, the same pattern I'm about to show is going to happen. So can't do this. My opponent played knight to g1. It's probably a good try. I mean, got to do something right. And he saw that, you know, maybe I'm going to try to bring my bishop to h3. Because I was kind of thinking of doing something like this. It does look pretty promising. So after knight to g1, queen g5 check is what I chose because I saw a very forced variation here. He has to go king h1. I don't think there's any other move. I looked at this, but we could just take it, right? Like that just wins material. So that doesn't work. And after king h1, I think queen f4, that just wins. How do you stop checkmate? I think the only way to stop checkmate is knight f3, which is what he played. But unfortunately, that loses a knight. And then even when you take back, there's still checkmate. So that's just unfortunate. Now, I'll tell you the thing I learned from my flashcard. Because when I first looked at this position, I was like, oh, I want to attack h2. So I put my queen on h4, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to win. And then the computer showed me something, f4. Look at this. Yeah, have a look at that. It blocks mate. And you're probably like, oh, I'm passant. Because at first I was like, oh, I'm passant, and then I mate you. No, then that allows the knight in. This time the knight is there for real. And guess what? White's winning now. This is why I love chess. Variations like this, like one slight mistake like that, and it changes the entire result of the game, right? Like you can go here to attack the pawn or here to attack the pawn. One wins and one loses. How fascinating is that? That's just insane, isn't it? But when we go queen f4, guess what? There is no f4. f4 is not a move anymore. So you cannot block anymore. So like I tell my students in class, batteries are very strong. Always make a battery. So anyway, I'm sure you can tell I'm happy, but I feel like I deserve it because I spent a lot of days being upset with my chess in the last couple months, and feeling like maybe I was failing at this whole improving thing. And I have a lot of support, you know, and people tell me, no, you're playing better, you know, don't worry about results. They will come. Just keep doing what you're doing. They will come. But, you know, it's hard to be patient when you don't hit a new high rating for a long time. And for a long time for me is like, I would say, I mean, if you can't hit a new high rating in a year, that sounds like a really long time. In the meantime, every kid around you is getting a new rating like every month. So, I think it's harder for adults, but because I'm, busy as anybody. Um, I don't know why I'm speaking like this, but so the way these training games are going and hitting this new high rating, which is now 1779, that really does mean something to me, even though, yes, it's just online. Yes, whatever. But I take chess.com ratings seriously. I really do. I take Lee Chess ratings less so because they're a bit inflated there. Um, but chess.com ratings, it's not all that inflated. I think it's pretty on par with people's ratings, maybe even harder. It's more like a FIDE rating than USCF, in my opinion. So getting a new high rating here, well, that means something to me. It means that, here's concrete evidence that I am improving because I couldn't get 1779 before. And believe me, I tried. I'm always trying. And if I break 1800, I will jump for joy when that happens. So, feeling good about this, and I think this is going to give me the confidence that I need to go back to Parma this coming Tuesday, which will be December 14th, and try to play my best chess and get my actual USCF rating over 1800, which I would certainly like to do. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I know this last couple games were kind of quick, but I'm happy with them. So there you go. I'll be back with more chess. Thanks so much for watching and for all your support. I'll see you later. Bye.